Good morning, everyone. Hello. Welcome to the Developer Hangout for September 26, 2018. I'm Will Hungerford, developer at Privateer Press. To my left, boss man, Oz.
Enunciate that year. It's really important.
2018?
Make sure that people know exactly what year it is.
Is that what you're getting up on the beginning?
A little, just right now.
This is what I deal with every day. Oz, development manager at Privateer Press. And to the far left, developer, lead C.I.D. developer at Privateer Press.
That's me.
Will Pagani. If you don't know what you're watching, welcome to one of the weekly streams. We here at Privateer Press stream 3 times a week. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, always at 10 a.m. Pacific. You can catch us live at twitch.tv/privateerpress or also catch us on Facebook. The videos get posted later on to youtube.com/privateerpressprime. So if you want to catch one that you didn't get to watch live, go check it out there. Tuesdays is the weekly Rumble where we get together and play the games we make. Monster Apocalypse, Company of Iron, Level 7, War Machine Hordes, all the good stuff. Developer Chat's what you're watching now. Usually we talk about C.I.D. stuff like we will be doing today, but we also talk about what's going on in the games and what's happening with the development of the games. And then Thursdays is Get Your Paint On with Dallas. Dallas paints, hobbies, and talks about tips and tricks with all of you. As I mentioned, we are live, so we have the chats up right now, so you will occasionally see us talking to people off screen. That's the chat, so if you're watching this on YouTube later, we're not crazy. You really should come catch us live.
I'm pretty crazy.
Before we get into the news about C.I.D. and the stuff we want to talk about, such as when the Skorne Exalted C.I.D. is starting, which we'll announce momentarily, let's talk about the new mini crate that got shown.
Lord, Lady of the Feast.
Lady of the Feast.
Lord Lady?
Whatever you're into, man.
He's just randomly saying stuff over there. Don't worry about him.
The Lady of the Feast is this month's mini crate model. If you want to check out mini crate, if you've never heard of it, it's a miniature subscription service where you receive a custom like resculpt every single month. It's mini-crate.com. Every month the miniature changes. We never go back and remake them. The molds are actually destroyed. There's also a VIP model that if you sign up for a 6-month subscription, in your next shipment you get that special model which cycles out every 6 months as well. The current VIP model is Alexia Handmaiden of Death, and I will say that Lady of the Feast and this Alexia right now are both like really phenomenal looking models. Yeah. I mean, obviously, Pagani, you're kind of like really well known for being a circle player. Are you picking up a Lady of the Feast, by the way? Mm-hmm. Cool.
I already own 3 painted Lord of the Feast.
I was about to say, you're going to need like...
Which makes no sense, because they're a character.
Yeah.
Well, you have to paint. You have to paint one to match every paint scheme you ever come up with. So
That's
you're
actually
gonna
true.
need like 7 of these.
I mean, that is why I own 7 painted Gormans.
Yeah.
One for every theme force, right?
Yeah.
No, you gotta base it matching each of your different armies.
Yeah. Why don't you just base all your armies the same?
I did that after I painted 7 Gormans.
That's crazy people talking. I love it.
But then you based your newest army different.
I did, which was obviously a giant mistake.
There's another mini crate thing real fast before we get into... I see the Spogulator in chat right now is saying spoiler papers.
No, these are just pieces of paper.
No,
These are spoiler papers.
nothing on these.
No,
They're blank. Look, if you fold it this way, it's blank.
Mine's blank on 3 sides.
So before we talk about that, the other mini crate thing everybody wants to know about is the Legend of the 5 Rings mini crate that is coming up very soon. For those of you who didn't heard, we're going to be making Legend of the 5 Rings models. There's going to be a special mini crate just for those. The signups haven't started yet, but you can get all the information as it happens by signing up to the newsletter at mini-crate/L5R. So if you're into super dope ninjas and samurai, if you're a player of the Legend of the 5 Rings RPG, these are going to be great figures. And if you just like cool stuff, these are awesome. So definitely go check that out, mini-crate/L5R. So where do we want to start? Do we want to announce?
We want to start by saying there's a lot of talk in the chat right now about the Retribution dynamic update. It's coming. It's very close, but we're not going to promise a date yet because we'll probably miss that date if we promise it. So it's moving along. It's really, really close, but there's a bunch of other stuff going on right now. We've got to figure out exactly when it's going to be finished and be ready to give you guys.
What we will promise a date on is next week.
No, but
For the Skorne CID.
for the
Skorne CID.
CID.
You had to let me
to
finish.
start.
You had to let me finish.
Well, you paused.
I know.
Finish.
You always let me finish.
Always.
Sure. So yes, next Wednesday, a week from today.
Yes, on October 3rd, running for 2.5 weeks like normal. The Skorne Exalted CID is starting October 3rd. So
And it's the 22nd, I think we just said, John?
yeah, I believe the 22nd is
which
the end date.
the Monday.
What we're going to do today is we're going to talk about one of the new models you'll be seeing in that. And obviously, next week's dev chat will be a full rundown of everything in that CID, all the legacy models that appear, any new models that appear, everything's going to happen there. But there's going to be another concurrent like mini CID that occurs at the same time, which
Yes.
is the other thing we want to talk about. Kind of how we did the Supreme Guardian by itself.
And it is not going to start with the Skorne C.I.D. Just for the record.
Yeah, it will not start during the Skorne one. It'll happen during it, but it will not be day one. And that is going to be for the Frustrum Locust, brand new Convergence solo that a lot of people have seen and heard about. So expect sometime during Skorne, the Frustrum Locust to get its own little mini CID. Real fast to manage expectations, the Frustrum Locust is not going to be a larger Convergence CID. So don't expect all the vectors and casters and infantry. This is simply going to be this model. So what else do you want to add about all this so far? Or do we want to just jump into the models?
Well,
No, I think
the Frustrum Locust is on the screen. So it's been solicited, and this is another one of those times where the schedule shifts around, and sometimes we get to do stuff that we weren't planning on doing. So we haven't CID'd it yet like we normally would a model that's coming up because the schedule got shifted around, and suddenly it was available and ready to go. So
It breezed through.
this is the very first time that we've ever, I believe, shown off a model that hadn't been CID'd yet. But we still have time to CID it, so there's no problem with that.
One up kids of what's a vector? A vector is the name of Convergence Warjacks.
It's the thematic name for a Convergence Warjack.
Correct.
Mark Garrow on Facebook says, is it possible to confirm the Red CID won't be out this week? The I-5 team tournament has list lock Sunday.
It's not possible to confirm 100% it won't be out this week.
Yeah, it's not possible to confirm 100%. I would say it's probably unlikely this week, but we can't confirm 100%. We will try to give people as much heads up as we possibly can when it's coming, okay? We will try not to just drop it. We won't drop it mid-tournament on Sunday, I'll tell you that much, so you don't have to worry about that.
We're not going to push
It's
a
list
war room
lock on Sunday. The
update.
tournament's the next week.
Yeah, we're not going to push an update on the weekend.
Oh, list locks. Oh, the list locks on Sunday, not the tournament.
Yes.
We'll see. We'll see.
We don't know.
So,
So the Frustrum Locust.
shall we talk about its rules?
We should.
Oz, I believe you're very excited about
Hey.
this thing. So you should do it with your tiny little flappy paper.
I got this. I folded it over just to not get distracted by this other model that's here that we're going to talk about in a
Okay.
second.
Yeah.
You guys already know it's a solo because that's what the solicitation said. So I don't have to read the name or the subtype.
I mean, you're really mailing it.
And I'm not going to go through the whole stat line. I'm not going to go through the whole stat line. But
Why don't we say thematically what it is before we go through the rules?
thematically,
it.
it's a magic, anti-magic laser cannon.
Kind of, yeah. I mean,
Kind of?
Take the Enigma Foundry style body, but instead of it collecting like souls and recreating constructs, have it literally collect arcane energies and then refocus that to either dispel enemy magic or to focus it into basically a giant magic beam to blow holes the size of hubcaps through the chests of the enemy.
The Arcane doesn't have hubcaps.
Well, if it did, that's the size of
Okay.
the holes.
So thematically, the Frustrum Locust is an anti-magic / offensively magic solo.
Yeah. So, as you can see, it's a construct. That's pretty obvious. It's got gunfighter because it only has a
got
gun.
Those little legs, they're not made for kicking.
And those little legs are not made for kicking. But they are made for stepping over small branches and whatnot. It does have Pathfinder.
Absolutely.
And then it's real rules that matter. It's got Arcane Pattern Array.
Yep.
Which lets it collect power tokens when someone casts a spell within 10 inches of it.
Well, and it doesn't have to be enemy, so
It doesn't have to be enemy.
It can have up to 3 when anybody casts a spell within 10 inches, so you will be able to power this thing up to get power tokens on it very easily.
Yes, and this works the same way that
Nemo 1.
Nemo 1's ability that collects power tokens.
And what can you spend those tokens on, Us?
You can spend those tokens on Arcane Vortex.
Also, you can boost attack and damage rolls with it. So, which is pretty solid given the gun it has.
Okay. And so its gun is the Phase Singularity. It's a range 12, POW 12, rate of fire 1, blessed magical dispelling gun.
Yeah, just straight up auto dispel. Boostable.
Yep.
Both ways. And then again, Arcane Vortex on a stick. This is a really interesting piece that is added to Convergence. There's a very strong anti-magic piece and just reliable upkeep removal, especially on your own. I mean, if you have to blow up one of your own dudes to remove, crippling grasp from a unit, you're going to do that. That's okay. So just having a dispel, you can so easily get there. And then Arcane Vortex, up to 3 Arcane Vortexes a turn that you can be sure it has the tokens. Bonkers! That just seems super strong. So expect to see this dude show up in C.I.D. really soon. I say dude. This Locust.
It's a bot.
He's a bro.
It's a bot.
He's a bro.
No.
No?
Obviously, he's also a soul vessel. For anybody who was wondering, is it a soul vessel? Yes, it is.
It's not a servitor or a vector, so it's got a soul in it.
So there's a real good question in chat for Pagani. Talth 001. Is it in both theme forces?
No.
The answer is no.
It is in Clockwork Legions.
Yeah, it will not be in Destruction of Initiative. Let's see if we have any other questions about it.
Brobot.
Trotsky DM says, "I don't want to die to math. Don't fight convergence.
It's true.
They will math.
Yeah.
They will math your soul out of your corpse."
Yes, so.
Yeah.
Harvard with a goatee looks good.
Wait, Hungerford's had
Life is in
goatee for...
He's working on a Van Dyke.
You have a Van Dyke.
Yeah, now he's working.
It's growing
on
in.
Van Dyke.
He's working on it.
JP Great One says, "Isn't that Arcane accumulator? Arcane pattern array, believe is different because
It doesn't turn into focus.
Yeah, it doesn't.
yeah, it doesn't turn into focus. So you collect the power tokens. They're spent on
Yes.
boosts. They come from any spell. So it's slightly different.
Yeah, it's very similar to Nemo 1's ability, but it doesn't work 100% the same way, so it doesn't have the same name.
Correct.
Yep. So that's the first from Locust. Expect to see him show up in C.I.D. Now, obviously, we said the Skorne C.I.D. is showing up next week, but we want to give all of you a little taste
October 3rd.
of something that's coming up in it.
This one, this side.
Yeah, hold on. I folded mine over too.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
turn
I'm
to the-
distracted.
Turn to the right page.
There
Mr.
we go.
Pagani, would you tell us,
Well,
please?
first we need to set this up.
Oh,
So we're not going to give a giant spoiler about a bunch of Skorne stuff.
That's next week.
That's next week.
yes.
But
It's not a
this
spoiler, that's
model
just the release.
was already spoiled at Lock and Load.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you know some of its abilities, and you don't know some of its abilities, because some of those have changed, and some of those we never told you about. So this is a look behind the curtain at how models evolve in internal playtesting over the course of months and months and months. Now you can go.
Oh,
Tell us
okay.
about the Immortal Vessel.
Great.
Please.
It's an immortal vessel.
Thematically, start. What is this thing?
It's an immortal vessel.
Wow. Do I need to do the thematic?
No, it's a
stuff?
vessel for an immortal.
So the Immortal Vessel
no, it's
is.
not.
Oh, it's not.
No,
My
it's
bad. I'm
not.
sorry. No, so it's an extoller that's
Yeah.
been turned into an immortal.
Yeah.
Is what an immortal
Yeah.
vessel is.
Yes.
So this is sort of a magic support style guy. His rules will. I mean, he channels. We talked about that at
Yeah.
Lock and Load. He had telemetry at Lock and Load, and he kind of still has telemetry at the moment. But he has been changed around a little bit. He can still channel. He's obviously a construct because he's an immortal. He gained a little bit of combat prowess since Lock and Load, which I don't think we actually even really talked about at Lock and Load. So like he picked up Spirit Eye, which is the immortal, or not the immortal, the Extoller range attack.
Yes.
With Annihilating Gaze and stuff.
And Ghost Shot.
And Ghost Shot, of course. And then he collects souls, and he can spend those souls to do things.
Stop.
Yes, so he has Shadow Magic, which is essentially, which he can spend a soul to gain, which is essentially telemetry again. He has Spirit Driven, so he can give himself bonus movement. And then he has Strength of Death, which is that he can boost with his Spirit tokens.
And
Or soul
it
tokens,
has
I'm sorry.
It has a PAL 12 polearm, so it's not a complete
Correct, yeah.
slouch when it comes to just needing to like take out one model with with a range
So
to melee attack.
he's 4 points, 5 damage boxes, def 11, 17 with set defense. You know, so decent survivability. Oh, I forgot. We forgot to mention on our old math killer, Fresh from Locust. He's 4 points, arm 18, 10 damage boxes.
Rat
You know,
6.
FA2.
Yeah.
It is an immortal solo, so I believe that does mean that he can be a free thing in there.
Yeah, so his name is Immortal Vessel, so he counts as an immortal, and then he is also a Skorne Exalted solo in his subtype. Obviously, he's going to go into the Exalted Theme Force and will be able to be chosen as a free solo from the command, the Theme Force benefits.
Yep. Other people are asking a bunch of other questions in chat right now. We're not going to be going through all that stuff, guys. So, sorry.
The questions people are asking is there going to be changes to the Exalted Theme Force, you know, about some other models. Next week is going to be the big Exalted chat, so we don't really want to get into all that right now because that's the entire topic of next week is the full breakdown of Exalted stuff.
Patrick Augustin asks, does telemetry and shadow magic stack? They would, but he doesn't have telemetry anymore.
Well, he has a version of
Yes.
telemetry.
So,
Correct. He has shadow magic, which gives him telemetry.
Yeah.
So he doesn't get like.
But if you had two models
That
then
had rules that said that, yeah.
telemetry would stack with Shadow Magic because they don't have the same name.
yeah. Question from Wild Wing Zinger 0. He counts as an Extoller too. He does not.
Currently, there's no Extoller keyword on here.
Yes.
Now that might be one of the small dials we tweak during this, depending on what Extollers give you benefits and Theme Force things and all that. But at the current moment, he's not an Extoller. In name, he just acts like one a lot with all his weapons and abilities and that kind of stuff.
He's an Exilor that has been turned into an Immortal.
DGC asks if Hungerford is learning to become more of a swashbuckler than a dev. No, he is a swamp buckler.
I don't know what's happening right now.
You're a swamp buckler.
I'm a swamp buckler.
It's like a swamp pirate.
This is a Wizard of Oz moment when you have to ignore the man behind the curtain.
Yes.
No,
Excellent.
no.
Excellent.
So how do you feel about these two? So I feel like the Frustrum Locust, he's pretty obviously what he does. I mean, you fill him up with tokens every turn. You have Arcane Vortex, super powerful ability. I personally love using it, with the Sacral Vault. But a boostable auto dispel gun that is both magic and blessed is amazing. So to me, the Frustrum Locust seems like he has a very straightforward use. I understand exactly what I'm going to do with him in an army and the armies I want to bring him in. The Immortal Vessel, is reasonably defensible. He has the annihilating gaze, ghost shot eye. He's got a magical polearm, and then he's got the telemetry. He's a channeler. He can make himself go faster. He can boost. He's collecting souls. Where do you see his place exactly in an exalted army? Like, when are you reaching for the vessel, in your opinion?
I mean, to me, the Arcane is the most powerful part of this guy.
Yeah, combined with telemetry.
Not even so much that. Like, I think a lot of the times you just want to be able to get animi out there and stuff. So the Arcane is great from a support perspective. And then I do think when you are going for that sort of assassination run or something like that, that's when the telemetry is really going to come in. Or when you're really looking to stick a debuff. Like Black Spot is a big one for me that I really, really like with this guy because,
what I think is really cool is the channeler's always on. He can always channel. You don't have to spend soul tokens. The shadow magic for telemetry, the spirit driven for the additional movement, those are just spend soul tokens anytime abilities. So he can do those and run. So if you really need to get him in position with the telemetry up and he's got 2 soul tokens, you can give him the bonus movement.
And he's an Immortal, so he gets that resonance from Ancestral Guardians.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's plus 4 inches of movement.
So yeah, he can give himself the bonus movement. He can turn on telemetry and then run, get in position, and know that's an action. So like, this is an arc node with kind of like a surprising threat range or threat extension from your spells, and I think it's going to catch a lot of people off guard initially, and it's going to be a piece you have to keep your eye on. And it's like I said, an 11/17 set defense, 5 damage box channeler. Like it's pretty sturdy compared to like the spell martyrs and gallows groves of the world.
Sure, yes.
Now, it is only speed 4 because it is a statue, so that thematic thing is still there. So it's not going to be running all the way across the board like a quick second.
Yeah.
So
So
with plus 4.
Runewise says, I need to know the story-wise why an Extoller got exalted.
So this is a Zal 2 thing.
Yeah.
Because normally, Immortals are random souls that get caught by Ancestral Guardians, and then those stones are put into lesser vessels than Ancestral Guardians. But those souls are still weighed and value judged. And this one is Zal kind of breaking the rules and saying, let's do some experiments and use our basically technology to do things that we can do instead of always making it, well, you're awesome and the best warrior ever, so we're gonna keep you around.
Yeah, this is effectively new old school tech.
Yeah.
Is the best way to put it.
Yeah. And if Doug Seacat's in here somewhere, which I haven't seen him yet, it might be viewed as heretical by some of the Skorne.
Super heretical.
Because Zal 2's already breaking a lot of the rules by being a non-warrior class.
But anybody that
exalted.
talks smack just gets eaten by a Kreia, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Red Death DM says, they were asking what the FA on these 2 models are. Both the Immortal Vessel and the Frustrum Locust are both FA2 solos.
And they both currently cost 4 points.
Correct. So that's the stuff we want to talk about today. Let's see if we got any other questions in chat we want to go through. And just heads up, guys, before you start hitting us with questions, we're not going to go over anything else in the Skorne C.I.D. That is next week's topic. So if you have any questions about what's coming, we're just not going to answer them. So let's talk about something else. Fluffy Zealot, did you say he gets resonance? Talking about the Immortal Vessel.
Yeah.
I think he does. I don't know.
The Ancestral Guardian ability says Resonance Immortals.
Sure.
And this model is an Immortal. So
I'm pretty sure it says model unit, but
yeah,
I haven't looked.
I'm almost completely positive. It says model unit.
Resonance is also getting an update, by the way.
And yeah,
because it currently has a very strange rules question with the Supreme Guardian.
Yeah.
A lot of chat right now saying how badass Zal is as a character and all the things he's done in Fluff. I agree. My 2 favorite characters in Skorne from a pure Fluff standpoint are Morgul and Zal. Because those dudes, and I like Mordekar a lot as well because of his storyline where I think it was Balder or Kruger that was going to kill him, and he was like, "Hey, you see this giant portal behind me that just goes into the abyss? If you kill me, this thing might just crack open and blow up the world." And he's like, "Well, never mind. Like, that whole story was awesome.
The old portal dodge.
Yeah, the old portal dodge. Like, I'm sorry there's a nuclear reactor attached to me in the ether. Kill me if you want
So
to.
there are a whole bunch of questions about the Immortal Vessel. Is it an Ancestral Guardian? And if it was an Ancestral Guardian, it would be an Ancestral Guardian Vessel, not an
So
Immortal
Ancestral
Vessel.
Guardians are the big statues. Immortals are the smaller statues.
Yes. Yeah. So it's a little guy, not a big
Yeah.
guy. So no,
Doug
it doesn't make a
It's
crevasse. No, it doesn't.
It's a Skorne
do all that kind of
size
stuff.
statue instead of a twice Skorne size statue.
Doug C. Cat corrected me. It was Mosar that had Mordekar down and was going to kill him until
Yeah.
Mordekar basically said, "Don't do it. I might blow up."
Kaboom!
One of the other questions I saw that I don't know what the answer is for, but I thought it was a good question. It scrolled by a while ago. When we have a C.I.D. like this coming out, and we're still waiting on the dynamic update for a couple, what's the best way to test against those types of armies?
We always suggest using the last week of C.I.D. rules if you want to use C.I.D. rules for something that hasn't come out yet.
Yeah. There are sometimes small changes between the very last week and what gets published in the dynamic update, but
and I would say
not usually a lot.
Definitely pay attention to the actual update because things will be different.
Oh yeah.
Somebody talking about Mordekar. When's Mordekar 2 happening? Sorry, he's super dead. He got eaten by the worm.
Super dead.
Super dead.
He's the most dead a character's ever been.
He's like Sturgis 2 dead.
He's like actually
Who died and then got...
Sturgis 2 is not dead.
No, Sturgis
When
2 got
Sturgis
killed.
2 died.
Sturgis got killed, turned into Sturgis 2, and then Sturgis 2 got killed.
He's
but
dead.
Sturgis
He's dead
2
dead.
is a zombie.
No.
You can sew him back together.
No, his
No,
like life force...
They killed him till he died from it.
Yeah, his energy got dissipated. Like, he got blowed up. Lifestyle.
They could figure out.
When are you going to grow a mustache?
No.
The chat wants to know.
Oh.
Grommelfist asks, is Terminus dead? No, his phylactery survived.
Cheers.
Let's see. What other questions do we have?
No, actually, that question is when are you getting a stash?
I
And the
interpreted it
stash,
for you.
the
apostrophe.
apostrophe that would be the part of the word you didn't say is at the end.
Not
So
the beginning.
stash and then some extra syllables that we don't know
So
about.
the apostrophe represents the E that was left off.
What about the must that was left off the front?
He didn't want to put it on both sides.
It's
Not
spelled.
necessary.
It's not spelled like stash, like mustache. It's spelled like stash, like drug stash. So
We had to go to drugs? It could be anything.
Megamole99 says, since when has death stopped Mordekar? Since the worm came out of a hole and ate him.
Nom, 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 nom.
Super death.
super death.
Super death.
When? What are the January Mod Pack releases? We haven't announced that yet.
Oh, yeah. And for those of you just, if you didn't watch the earlier streams, you're like, where's Monster Apocalypse at the stores? We had a delay. Some stuff got held up in customs.
The
Monster
dice.
Apocalypse
The
was...
dice.
Yeah, the dice.
Yeah.
The Monster Apocalypse was supposed to be out this week. It all got delayed until October 5th. So the starters and the initial blisters will be at your local store October 5th. Go hit them up.
And the other
October
21st releases got pushed to the 5th too to make it one big shipment out.
But all of the October releases
Yes.
have not been adjusted. So
we didn't bump the entire schedule back. We just bumped that one release back a little bit.
Yes, Megamole. Mordekar was plot RFP'd. So he was removed from plot. He was super, super eaten. Gone. Until C-Cat says otherwise. Like, and the thing is, C-Cat could just show up and be like, but instead,
Until Haley changes the timeline.
as far as anyone knows, and as far as the current storyline is, Mordekar is dead. Forever.
Raven Fletcher asks, so the 12 factions of Christmas got spread out over the year now. When can we start expecting to see those models? You just did. The Frustrated
So-
Locust is one of those models.
So yes, those models got sprinkled, and that sprinkling didn't happen in a consistent, like planned, perfect way of like every other whatever. So the Frustrum Locust is the first model that was going to be part of that, but it's not like we'll be doing that on any kind of regular basis. So you'll know about those when you know about those.
Sabra, hopefully she's wearing her beanie, says she heard something about models at War Machine Weekend. Do anything about what's going to pre-release there? We haven't said everything that's coming at War Machine Weekend, just a few little tidbits. One of which is the brand new Croak Lesser Warlock that's coming out. Based off the Company of Iron contest that occurred. The player that won had the best like storyline, paint job, custom conversion, diorama. So their leader, which was originally based off a Croak Hunter, we're making into a Croak Shaman Lesser Warlock. For those of you asking, no, he does not come with his own custom character. You can bring anyone you want to. Think traditional journeyman style. Man, he's got some good spells.
When we're playtesting a lot of options right now and settling in, so we're not going to tease what that character can do besides it's a lesser.
Correct. I also don't believe he's going to go through CID.
He's not going through CID.
If I'm not mistaken, JR also mentioned that is when you would be able to get to Denegra 0.
She might be there, I do
Yeah,
believe.
there's a very, 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 very good chance.
Please note that
Yeah,
all...
those zeros have been coming out at conventions, major conventions. So
And then I don't have the exact dates, but early-ish next year is when I believe they'll be available for general release.
yeah, we have to release all 4 of them. I think special before.
Yes, kind of.
Kind of, maybe.
Kind of. It
Sort
depends. It entirely, honestly, depends on. It matters as far as production schedules.
Yeah.
Yep. So, by the way, everything we're talking about coming over Machine Weekend, obviously, all things are subject to change. Monster Apocalypse was supposed to be out now, and Dice got held up at customs and got pushed back. So, if for some reason you get there and our sweet Croak Lesser or Negra Zero or we aren't there, who knows what happens? Things change constantly. So,
Plane goes down and we'll die.
Airplanes get redirected. We'll all be in Hawaii.
Ooh.
Just like Lost.
Wait, were they in Hawaii the whole
They
time?
were in Hawaii
Is
the
that a
whole time.
spoiler?
No, that's where they filmed it.
Oh.
And John Galvin asks, will he be playable? I'm guessing he means
Yes.
the Croak.
Yeah.
You can always play a model at the convention releases that.
Yeah,
So
it's
absolutely.
pre-release.
and you will
it's-
absolutely want to if it gets through how it is.
And no, Dorian, there's no Infernal spoilers.
We do have a question that I can actually answer, ish, which is Pindy Noir? Can you remind us when the Infernal C.I.D. is scheduled? March 2019. I can't give you an exact March 2019, but that is roughly the correct time frame.
And yeah, it's not officially scheduled.
Well, yeah, it's not scheduled, but that is it. We have said that they will release at Lock and Load, so
Yeah.
that is when that time slot is for testing.
If you've
So
noticed the way that Crucible and Grimkin worked,
it'll be
scheduling-wise,
about that time.
It'll be a very similar kind of thing.
Travis asks, how do I time travel to when Infernals come out? A coma is not the healthiest way to do it, but guaranteed. Yeah, any kind of way that you can be kept
A
under.
lot of alcohol.
Just a ton of rum. I don't recommend it. There's a lot of
Privateer
personal
Press does not
sacrifices.
Also,
endorse any
if you-
suggestions that Hungerford comes up with as far as time travel. Time travel is not shown to be proven or real.
If you time travel there, you'll just be an echo of yourself
I've
from
time
now,
traveled before.
so you won't be able to do anything.
I've time traveled at War Machine Weekend several times.
Would you be Travis Past or Travis Future?
Let's see if we have any other questions before we wrap up today's dev chat. Somebody wants to know if the Raptics have flank or just anti-air.
So yesterday we were talking about a lot of stuff in that game, and the Elite Carnodon has flank.
Correct. Not Raptix.
The Raptics have anti-air.
Perfect.
And Dorian thinks I'm great, so awesome. Thanks, Dorian. I don't know exactly what I did, but always appreciate it.
Yep. Nixie wants to know when Terminus 2 is coming out. Terminus 2 has body destroyed. He's just a phylactery trying to regrow right now. So if Terminus 2 came out, he'd just be a wee little stick. Just a little.
He's an objective token.
It could be some sort of floating
Objective
can.
token?
No.
Just a skull. Just
It'd be great.
All right. Looks like we've
There's
hit
a lot
all
of
the
odd questions.
Yeah,
so
we've hit all the major questions. So hey, everybody, thanks for joining us. Just as a reminder, you can catch us Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday on any given week if we're not all at a show. Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Pacific, we do the weekly Rumble where we play games. Wednesdays is what you're watching now, Developer Chat, where the development team hangs out. We talk about upcoming things. Sometimes we have spoilers. Sometimes we go over math. You never know.
Well, that one didn't fly off the table.
Landed perfectly
Where's
back
this
in
one
my
gonna
hand.
go?
Thursdays is Get Your Paint On with Dallas, hobby tips and tricks. And a big reminder, the new mini crate model just came out, mini-crate.com. The Lady of the Feast is available right now until October 19th. If you sign up, you'll get her. Also, if you sign up for a 6-month subscription, you'll also get the Alexia Handmaiden of Death. Amazing looking model.
for free.
And also the L5R mini crate. More information coming soon. If you want to sign up for the newsletter, go to mini-crate.com/L5R. We will see you all next Wednesday for the start of the Skorne Exalted C.I.D. We'll go through all the rules here. Until then, have a good weekend. See you later. Bye.
Wow, there's a lot of questions. Just
Kinda.
weird
Weird questions.
Weird, every direction.